G'day viewers, welcome to another super cool video from the Goat Shed. Today is Thursday the 2nd of February 2023 and we're doing our What's Happening in February video. But I've just got Graham there in the shot and he's looking up on his tablet at the moment by the looks of it. Spanky said he wanted a date for the night. So it would appear that yeah, he's showing him a couple of the potential goats. There you go, and Spanky sort of approves of one of those two.
Pick one.
You know, now one might say he's being untrue to Skanky. Well,
yeah, they've got an open relationship.
They have an open relationship, yeah. There you go. Okay, enough of the frivolity. Let's tell you what we're going to do this month in the Goat Shed. So, first job we've got up, and we're going to be doing a whole separate video on this, as a abracadabra playfield swap. So one of our clients bought a reproduction playfield from the USA, a Wade Krause one, and we've been tasked with the job of pulling it all apart and putting it all back together again. So we're underway with that, and as I said, well, over the next couple of days you'll see a video pop up. Make sure you've got our channel with the bell there so you get the alerts. And while we're talking about that, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a big thumbs up on all of our videos. It means a lot to us. That way we'll keep making videos for you. We just announced yesterday our first training course for 2023. That will be held on Saturday, February 25th, and we've now added an extra module to that course, which will be troubleshooting using a real machine and schematics. So that should be something for all the students to look forward to. Now, when we put out expressions of interest on this, I think it was late last year, we got about 14 or 15 people responded. Now, I get it, out of those 14 or 15 people, probably less than half of them may or may not be available on the day, different reasons. So we're actually thinking about, if enough people respond, running another course a couple of weeks later. So that will give everyone the opportunity to partake in the course. Now, other jobs we've got happening at the moment, we're rather hoping today we're going to receive back from the carpenter the Bowling Queen cabinet. We did show you briefly a little bit about that earlier in one of our videos, either December or January. That's being repaired and it'll be undercoated when it returns to us, and then we have a stencil which Graham's traced, and we'll be doing that, and we'll also be making a video on the process of painting that Bowling Queen. Now, at the moment today you wouldn't be game to paint. It's possibly going to rain, maybe yes, maybe no, but we've still got a good month of summer left here down under, and even after that, March, April are generally fairly warm months. So we'll be doing that. We're also hoping to receive the playfield, a brand new playfield which is coming to us for Target Pool. So as possibly we may get onto that. And I believe that we may have already mentioned that we received last month from Victoria 3 machines, which were Abracadabra, Fireball, and a machine from Playmatic called Fantasy. We have those to do as well, and we want to get those 3 done together so they can all go back on the one truck together. Oh, and we did receive an inquiry which I'd forgotten about, where a chap wants us to have a look at his Gottlieb soccer. Now, this particular guy actually used to play first grade soccer for our local team here. I can't recall whether it was for Newcastle United. I don't think he played for the Jets, but it's the same sort of arrangement. He wants us to have a look at that. Now, I was away on Monday and Tuesday, but Graham got a phone call from a chap he's known for many years who used to own like a 50s museum up here in Newcastle. It closed down probably, maybe 3 years back. But he contacted Graham about 12 pinball machines he's got, mainly from the 50s and 60s. Now, this guy generally, Graham says, buys good stuff. So what we're going to do is contact him in a few weeks and go out and have a look at those machines and assess their problems for repair, and then have them organised to be brought back to the goat shed here for said repairs. So that should be pretty good, and once again hopefully we'll be able to do a video on that with the owner's permission and let you see all these machines. We have no idea what the titles are, none whatsoever. I don't even think that was mentioned. Was it, Graham?
What's that?
The titles of the...
No, not one at all, no.
Okay. So that'll be a bit of a surprise and something to look forward to. It's always good to see games from the 50s and 60s. The 60s certainly are my favourite era of games, having sort of grown up in those days. And, well, the 50s I did play some of the wood rails as well, but they were sort of, I don't know, I guess some of those were not of great interest to a young 10 or 12-year-old kid when you had other machines like Tropic Isle and Central Park and Crosstown and Sweethearts and, you know, all those games which were classic 60s games. Oh, and who could forget the effervescent North Star? Actually, that just reminded me, we're supposed to have a fellow coming up here. He owns 2 North Stars. He was coming up early this month, so yeah, we'll probably hear from him soon. We fixed those a couple of years ago. Alright, now, I want to show you something. A lot of you that watch our channel may have watched our recent video, or our last video on Big Indian. Well, we've been testing that, and one thing that we actually missed in the initial test was a contact switch not paying 100 points, or 10 points I should say. Now it's behind the drop target. Now allow me to show you that. So this switch up here behind the drop targets, it wasn't paying zilch, nothing was happening. And we missed it originally. Anyway, we had a bit of a look at it, and what it is, there's 5 switches involved that score 10 points on the playfield, and they are as follows. Those 3. This one is 4. Oh, and the slingshots are 5 and 6. So there's 6. Let me just count those again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 and 6. So let's lift the lid and show you what was going on there. So what the problem turned out to be, the 2 wires coming out of the loom onto the drop target, the white is the feed for those switches on the playfield. So the white was actually on the bottom lug, and that other wire, I can't quite see the colour, was on the top lug. Someone had changed that at some point in time. That's what the problem was. So you just never know. They're things you don't expect to find, but we found it, and it's all good now. Now, we were talking recently about putting another apron on this machine. Graham sanded down an apron the other day, and we're going to affix a decal to that and put it on the machine to finish it off. You will recall that we did put a new decal on the shooter gauge, and of course when we stared at it long enough we thought, oh gee, this isn't really satisfactory, let's do it properly and make a nice looking machine of it. So that was a little bit of extra work that we're doing on Big Indian, and we're still testing it while everyone else has been a little bit busy preparing lamp sockets and polishing up stuff off the old Abracadabra playfield. So please don't forget to look out for that video. We'll have that in a couple of days' time, hopefully, and you'll see how we've gone about doing this. So that should be a lot of fun and interesting to see. Okay. So Spanky gave his approval for that job, and he's now happy with it. He does our quality control for us, so to speak. Alright, with all that said and done, thanks so much for watching our video. We greatly appreciate it. Once again, we ask you to comment on our videos. If there's anything else that you want us to do, please ask away. We'll try and accommodate. But in the meantime, this has been another Goatshed presentation.